What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video where we have one more episode of the Trans Am that I just bought. We're gonna go over some stuff that I found out about it, some things that are good, some things that are bad, what the status is of the paint and the paint job. There's also one major thing different about this car that was not done from the factory, and to be completely honest, I missed it, but a couple of the viewers have pointed it out and they are 100% spot on. So before we get further into the video, drop a comment down below. Just looking at it, what do you think is different about this car? It's something major, but it fooled me, it's fooled many other people, and honestly, the quality of what was done to it is very high, and to me, it's as good as a factory part on this car. So, enough about that. I'm gonna start doing some service to this car. I've got to fix the headlight motors, we're doing its oil change, I'm seafoaming the engine crankcase and the fuel system. I've got a couple of fog light lenses to replace. I did take the front license plate bracket off now that I have it registered in this state. So there's a couple of pinholes in the front bumper cover, but I am looking at getting this car totally repainted. Unfortunately, I've asked 3 different body shops locally and in the surrounding area that are reputable for doing good work and maybe being affordable. One is so busy they're at least a year out. The other is so busy that they can't do it now, and even if they could, they'd have to charge so much that they knew it would be cost prohibitive, and we agreed. It's not practical to do it right now. A lot of the money with body repair is in collision, not so much restoration work like this. So there's still a third option. That option would be I dismantle the entire car, minus leaving the doors hanging on it and whatnot, and I bring it to them ready for prep and paint. They would do that, and I would take it all back and reassemble it. More than likely, that's what I would end up doing if we get to a good number on what the painting and prep labor would cost, minus disassembly and reassembly. Then we're gonna talk about what's majorly modified on this car, and I think it's gonna surprise some of you. This car has Cars and Concepts T-tops on it. There are parts available for it if you run into an issue with either gaskets or the locks or the latches or what have you. There is a company that bought the remaining inventory of the Cars and Concept stuff, and it's available online. They do say you have to contact them to find out parts availability, but if you look in here, this looks 100% factory. To me anyways. I couldn't tell looking at it, and even looking at it now, it just looks perfect. They did a really nice job with this kit. I'll pull both tops off and I'll show you what the T-bar area is like. The one dead giveaway is this trim piece in the back. I didn't notice it, but as soon as one of the viewers pointed out, I went, oh yeah, these are different. And sure enough, the glass etching was right there. My trim tag is missing, so I don't have a build date or anything like that, but it's pretty safe to presume that this was modified at some point when it was new or very, very new. So to the best of my knowledge so far, this is not something that people did 10 years after ownership. It sounds like this was generally done around the time that the car was new. So if you have any more information about this, there is some on thirdgen.org, but definitely drop a comment down below. Hopefully we get some informed opinions on this and a little bit more background knowledge, but by my estimation, it is a very nice kit, and everybody seems to support that online. There is a link in the description showing kind of how it's actually installed on a 2nd gen F body. This is obviously a 3rd gen, but the idea is the same. Some people even believe that these are a better version of T-tops than you would get from the factory. It's apparently stronger in some aspects. So I guess that's about all I got to say about it. I'll show you what's under the T-tops, and we will hop into the next part of the video. So as you can see, this is their own T-bar panel. It's a little bit different than the factory one. I do have to clean some of the crud out of here, but it does appear that it was sealed here with the type of urethane sealant maybe. A lot of people say that this is a much better way that they could actually do T-tops from the factory because there's not really a way that they can leak, as there's a large channel that runs all the way around here and it will run down behind the door glass, is the idea. Same with the front, it should go drip down the front. But I mean, even looking at it now, to me, if you had the tops off, nobody would notice the difference between this at first glance and the factory T-top setup. It's clearly a little bit different, but to the layperson and even someone that thinks they knew a little bit about this stuff, I completely missed it. And I gotta be honest, looking back at it, I do feel a little bit silly, but what should be on the build sheet and on the RPO code list is RPO code CC1. That is the designation for T-tops, and it was not available on these cars with a 350 in this year. The years do vary a little bit between Firebird and Camaro on what you could get the T-tops on, but Firebirds in particular of this year with a 350 did not come with available T-tops. So This was done in the aftermarket, and everything here that I'm seeing supports that. So the first thing you can do troubleshooting this is find out whether or not both headlight motors are spinning when you hit the switch. So I'll put these both down right now, but the motors do seem to be working. So the motor pulls them down, but not up in my case. Both of the headlight motors are working here, which tells me that the relay is good for both of them, as well as the motor and the switch itself. I either have a gear problem or the little gel pucks are bad.
Get in there nice deep like.
So I got the passenger side all apart, off camera, and inside here you can see exactly what everybody's talking about these hardened gel nuts that are in here. They just turn to total powder. You can see it kind of loose in there. So they are totally destroyed, and in the top-down solutions kit you can see you get new gaskets and you get these new Delrin bushings. That's what they are. So this is actually going to replace exactly what disintegrated in here, and when you're done rebuilding it, you're going to have a brand new headlight motor. So far, on my best guess, knowing that the headlight motors are supposed to work and everything, it sure seems like this is the problem in my case, which is apparently the problem with most of these, and for about 20 bucks, you'll be able to fix both sides, probably long term. So I'll show you more in detail how to take apart the passenger side. This is the first time I've done it, and the instructions are good, but there does leave a little bit to be interpreted on it, like most things. So I just want to show you guys the best I know how after I've done one. I'll be cleaning this one up, get it all reassembled, and I'll show you guys what I learned from doing this one on the second one. Alright, so I'm all done with the oil change under here, and I did get that transmission pan all cleaned up. I did get 99% of the grease off of the transmission pan, and I did finish up with the oil change down here. So if you look real close on the ground, you're going to notice a debris field and grease and oil and all sorts of stuff that was just caked on the transmission pan. So like any vehicle, I suggest doing this kind of stuff while you're down there, because when you're done, you are going to have a better functioning vehicle, and it will be easier to work on in the long run. So obviously I could have taken this a little bit farther, but for now, this is going to do pretty good. So I'll get my little collection pan out of here, drop the car down, we're going to fire it up and see how it runs.
I can see the memories fading like a storm after the rain, lightly by the shadow, whispering your name. You cave into the darkness, this life that you betrayed, breathing life through distorted eyes. Will they see you come alive? You couldn't save yourself, running blind down to the darkness that takes your life. The war going through, you made everything change. I try to replay the good times, but the memories fade away.
Alright, so now we've got really good working headlight motors back in the car. What I am going to do is put in some new fog light housings. The one on the driver's side is broken, and if I were to just replace that, it probably wouldn't match from driver's to passenger side. I mean, this is brand new. The old one's obviously a little bit older and faded and whatnot, so I mean, it's an okay shape, but I do want them to match. So everything I'm doing on this car, I'm trying to make decent when all is said and done. But this one's destroyed. The bulb might be in there. It's really no factor whether or not it is to me. So what I'm going to do is just replace both of them. I'll have a couple of brand new housings and new bulbs in each one. And hopefully, when I'm all done with this in the next 20-30 minutes, I'm going to have good working headlights and good working fog lights. And the car's going to be more dialed in and more or less ready for a road trip of some sort. So I'm going to get right to it. We're going to do one more time lapse, and I will show you guys what it looks like when I'm all done. So another 20 minutes later, I've got some brand new fog light housings with new bulbs. I got some dielectric grease on all the connections, so this should be good to go for a long time. And it's just one more thing checked off of the long list of things to be fixed on this car. Looking at it now, I am glad I got a second one as well. This is getting pretty corroded. The bulb is good in there, and technically the housing's fine. This might be an original housing. At any rate, it's no good to me, and these are pretty much identical to what was on there. So that's about all I got for you guys in today's video. If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. In the next video, I'm more than likely going to work on the 3rd gen Camaro that I've got. I know we've been in a little bit of a Camaro content drought, but I do have some stuff ready to go for it, and I'd like to do that in the next video, so stay tuned for that. But until that upload, we'll see you guys in the next video.